Hi, good day, good night, good evening, depending on what time you happen to be watching this. Welcome to another episode of House of Stars. I am your girl Star, and you see me today, girl, with my voodoo errands on. So that means it's about to go down. As you can see on House of Stars, I believe it was sometime earlier this week, I took to my Twitter page, the link is going to be in the description box, asking everyone, who do you think that I should read on next? And then it dawned on me that, you know what, I should actually start doing a viewer's choice. So meaning that you guys can ask whoever you want me to read on, and I try to read on as much people as I can in one video. So you guys are probably wondering where I've been this whole entire time. Some of you guys may know this, that are loyal followers of mine that check up on me and stuff like that. But I just had a baby. Yes, I had my first child, my little precious boy. And that's the reason why you haven't seen me in a little bit. But of course, I can't abandon the House of Stars family. So I made sure that today, no matter through all the hardship that you go through when it comes to motherhood, to take some time out and do a video for you guys. So let me just get right into it. Let me not waste any time. So today, who I'm going to read on is Azealia Banks, Nicki Minaj, Avril Lavigne, Jackie Christie, Khloe, and Tristan T. I think his last name is Thompson, but whatever. Karreuche and Quavo. We'll touch a bit on Donald Trump and Jeremy Corbyn. Of course, I had two questions that had to do with the U.S. president and also the UK prime minister. I believe in the UK they do call it prime minister because that's what we call it in Canada. And we were colonized by the British, and we still owe respect to the, whatever, it doesn't matter. But a lot of things that are in Canada really resemble a lot of things that are in the UK. So I think you guys call it prime minister. But all right, so I'm going to take some time just to open my energy, just so that I can tap into these people and read on them effectively. So just give me a moment while I do that. Okay, so let's start off with Azealia Banks, my girl, Azealia Banks. So what I do see around Azealia Banks is that a lot of the stuff that's happening around her at this moment is, and I'm not saying that there isn't things that are happening within her career, but there's a lot of spiritual calling and spiritual intervention that's happening at this moment. I feel like she's at a place where she's at a fork in the road, and her life can easily go within the next 3 months either way. But at the same time, I do feel like regardless of what choice she makes, I feel like the universe has put her in that place anyways, and regardless of the choices she makes. So it's like, I get the sense that it's one of those things where she's going to feel like she's going to have to make a choice, but whatever has happened is destined. Okay. I do feel like when it comes to her career, I do see some musical stuff coming, some music dropping, things like that. This is stuff I've already seen anyways, but I do see, also like a little bit of her stuff from her beauty line. And I do see a little bit of gigs that are coming more low key, but there are prominent gigs that are coming up for her. But for the most part, I do feel like publicly, there is going to come a point where you are going to see the true Azealia Banks. You're going to, like, her fate is going to be shown very publicly. I do get the sense that what she's been guided to do is to really tap into her inner strength, her inner voice of light, and also her ancestry in order to deal with or be able to make the right decisions in what she's doing. So that's what I do see around her right now. So there's a lot of powerful, heavy duty spiritual stuff that's happening at this moment for her. And I think that is much more important right now for her than what is actually happening in the mundane. Regardless of what the choice she makes, I feel like the mundane things. And when I say mundane, I mean like her music career and things like that. Even though they're divine to her, at the end of the day, it's still mundane in comparison to the spiritual world. Will eventually will fall into place. It's not going to take that much effort. So any advice I would say is to focus on your spiritual life first, or at this moment, and the choices and the decisions that you have to make in your spiritual life, and the rest will follow. So that's what I do see for Azealia Banks. So we're going to move into Nicki Minaj. And what I just see for Nicki Minaj, she's really bitchy at this place. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, I don't care what anybody says. I do feel like she has a bit of a bruised ego of what happened with that whole Remy Mom situation. You know what I mean? Because she's still, even though like there's a lot of success that's coming for her, and there's a lot of things that are coming her way, at the same time, there's still a bit of a bruised ego that is there. And I get the sense that she also does understand the same effect of how her career started out, and that the momentum and that spark it had doesn't necessarily have the same effect now. But I do feel like, of course, she's doing the fashion stuff, but I do also get the sense that there's going to be some beauty stuff that is going to come for her as well, whether it be scent or makeup, that is going to be coming within her name again. I also get some fashion stuff. I do still see some music, and I also see that there's going to be some acting that is coming up as well. I think her her charity work, I feel like that stuff is going to be a little bit more prominent. You're going to see her do a little bit more stuff like that. I get the sense that she's going to be doing something that has to do with children. And I do feel like she is going to get in a relationship with somebody that is going to show more promise of her settling down a little bit more. Because I think right now where her main focus is right now is love. Even though she doesn't want to allow herself to actually open herself to love, she is focusing on how her love life has played out thus far, and the choices and decisions she has made in her love life. So that's where the focus is. She's wanting a little bit more for herself and her love life, and I feel like I get the number 2. So I feel like she will have it. So I get the sense within 2 years, she'll be a little bit more settled within herself. But overall, what I do see with Nicki Minaj is that she needs to watch her attitude, and she needs to watch her emotions, because they are getting the best of her. The next thing that I got this question, this is a very weird question. But I think I seen this on Twitter. I forget who was doing an article on it, but it was a prominent blog. But I was asked this question about the whole conspiracy behind if Avril Lavigne is actually a clone. I think that's what I saw. And I know a lot of that stuff happens and Illuminati stuff. And usually I don't like to touch base on those things just because it depends on who you talk to. I like to kind of keep my videos and what I do a little bit unbiased. Like if you want to talk shit about me being a fake psychic or whatever the fucking case may be, and this is to people that don't look at my videos properly and actually see things that I've said have come to pass, I'm cool with that. But when it comes to conspiracy theories, like I like to kind of have those discussions with people that I know that are actually receptive to those things. And I'm not saying that I'm shying away from it, but it's just kind of like a topic where it's like, okay, let's keep it light. You know what I mean? But when it comes to that, I don't think she's a doppelganger. I don't get that. Doppelganger. Sorry, wrong word. I don't think she's a clone. I'm not going to say that there wasn't certain things that she has done before that may be questionable, but I just don't think that she is a clone. To be honest, when it comes to the clone thing, I haven't really allowed myself to really open myself to receive or see what really happens within that realm. But you know, when it says, even the Illuminati says itself, there's some things that are out there that are true and some things that are false, but you will never know what is true or false. But in that case, I don't feel like she is a clone. I do feel like she was put on missions. I definitely do see that. But at the same time, too, it's like everybody in the industry is always given a mission, regardless of who you may be. If you have clout, if you have an audience, especially an audience of a large mass, and especially if you have a certain control or people are receptive to what you do, then you are given a task. And that's just the way it is. You know what I mean? Regardless of what, we live in a very controlled society. No matter how much we feel like we can click on or look at whatever we want, we're still controlled. But in that case, I guess I'll be a mythbuster there. I do not think she's a clone. I don't get that. So that's what I do see with around Avril Lavigne. That answers your question, the person that asked. So let's see. The next person I'm going to ask about, or the next person that they asked for me to ask about, or sorry, to look into, was Jackie Christie. She's a very unconscious, like, in denial woman when it comes to what she does to other people. She allows herself to be very unconscious with the actions that she's made and the things that she's done in life. That's just the kind of person she is. But I also feel like that comes from her upbringing. So that's the reason why she's the way that she is. What I do see around her, I'm picking up financial trouble. There's like some kind of money somewhere where she was expecting it to go a certain way, or money she was expecting and it didn't go as planned, which is causing some financial strife. I'm not saying that she's broke, but definitely she's on high alert when it comes to her finances. I do get the sense around her that there's going to be some kind of strife that she's going to have with another co-star on the show. That actually, which is weird, I'm going to get this, and if I'm wrong, I'll take it, that can actually jeopardize her being able to stay on the show. That's what I'm getting as well. But I do feel like when it comes around her, like, it's like a lot of things that's happening right now in her life has to do with karma. I guess some of it, she does acknowledge it, and there's a part of her that wants to humble herself in the things that she does. But I think that she's not going to really be able to allow herself to humble or allow herself to reflect and have empathy and sympathy for her actions until there's an aspect of her life that crumbles, and that's when it will happen. But overall, that's what I do see around her. I think she's on Basketball Wives. I don't watch Basketball Wives, so I don't really know what's going on at this moment, if there's specific things that you wanted me to look at, but that's what I just see around her overall. So let's move into Khloe and Tristan. See, I'm a Khloe fan. I can't say I'm a Khloe fan. I would say if I were to choose out of Kardashians, which are my favorites, I would say once upon a time one was Khloe and Kourtney, but now I'm thinking I'm just leaning towards Kourtney alone. And I like Kendall. But I do feel, and when I say I'm not saying, I'm not going in too deep on what I think is good about them. I just feel like they're figures and you just like your figure, you know? I feel like right now with them, I feel like Khloe is more intrigued and more all in with the relationship than Tristan is. And I'm sorry to say that, but I really do. I feel like she kind of is going in it with a naive approach. Even though I feel like she walked into the situation pretty grounded, I feel like she's allowing herself to be a little bit lost in the telltale signs when it comes to the things that he does and the person that he is. And I don't feel like he's a person that he's trying to use the Kardashians for any kind of fame or anything per se. I think that obviously that comes with fame, but regardless, I get the sense that when it comes to him, it's like he's not really grounded, as his feet are not cemented of what's happening. He's very floaty like the air. So this is a relationship that even if it gets to its maturity, there will be infidelity. I do see a possibility too of a baby. If she's not careful, she can get pregnant. But also I do get a possibility of a pregnancy outside of that. I think he does have a kid outside of the relationship. a young kid too. But I do feel like there's a possibility of that too, not regardless of what he already has. But that's overall what I see for Khloe and Tristan and the maturity of the relationship. Like, I feel like it goes as long as is what Khloe allows herself to stick around for. Is really what I want to say about it. To be honest. But when it comes to the relationship, I feel like, and when I say it's superficial, I feel like it has a superficial feel to it. I don't get no strong, deep love. Okay, so let's move into Quavo because I only have so much time. Okay, so move into Quavo and Karreuche. When it comes to that relationship, again, this is another superficial relationship as well. I get the sense that Karreuche likes him very much, like pretty well, and he likes her, but I get the sense that right now, because they're so caught up in both of their careers, they haven't really allowed themselves to really see each other on a deep level. It's like they're really caught up in the action and the motive behind dating, rather than really seeing each other on a soul-to-soul level of who they really are. I do feel like they do like being around each other. I feel like they're rather comfortable around each other. And I think that there is a pizzazz and there's a groundedness that Quavo does like about her. But right now, I still feel like it's kind of like the motions going like this, like back and forth. So it's like both people, and it's not even people, but even both souls haven't even allowed themselves to cement themselves in the situation to see where the situation is going to go. It's kind of like, you give this, I take that. You give this, you give that. You know what I mean? Is what I do get with that. But I do get right now, when it comes to the relationship, it's flowing. I don't feel like it's anything that's really looking to end anytime soon. And if it does, not on bad terms, is not what I'm getting. So let's move into, because I got to do this quickly, into Donald Trump and, I don't know if I could do Jeremy Corbyn, but Donald Trump. And what I do see around Donald Trump is that I do feel like you're going to see a lot of presidential fuck-ups, which have already been happening already. But I think that he's at a stage right now where he's just more focused on the business aspect of what he's doing. So I'm sorry I am running out of time because I only have so much time on this video, but I do want to thank you so much for watching this video. This is a House of Stars viewer's choice. So if you have any questions or concerns about any celebrities that I've read on today or even in the future, feel free to leave it in the comment box. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. And if you want to get a reading with me, all the information is in the description box. And if you have any questions about Jeremy Corbyn or anything, I will write down what I feel about him in the comment box. It's just that I only have so much time on this video. So I do want to thank you guys so much for your time and rocking with me. And thank you so much for staying loyal viewers, even though I've been gone. May God bless you and the angels protect you. Good night.